If you were to purchase TRB, I mean, like, for example, if you purchase it down here, you would, right now, you'd be up 45%. At the top, you'd be up about 112. And it has actually been doing a really good job, just gradually inclining. Check out TRB. You can pretty much bet on it to just keep going.
YFI, you're in finance.
A lot of people don't know this, but it's worth $3,445 right now. At least on the hourly, it looks like it's holding above the 50% fib retracement line. If we do close on the hourly and then the 4 hourly above the 3,440 line here, then I would say the next leg up is going to be about 3,800. So remember when we drew this Fibonacci retracement level like last week? If it moves above this giant wedge that's building up here, this red wedge here, then I don't know what, I mean, it's new price discovery as far as I'm concerned for Link. So it's just still growing. In
the beginning of the month, it was at $7 and I sold right after this big dump, which at $17 yesterday.
Welcome to your weekly trading Tuesdays. Play the music.
Love it. And we interrupt this presidential debate for another episode of Tuesdays Are for Technical Analysis. Thank you guys for tuning in. We got the one, the only, Drew Tang at home with us today, guys. Say what's up, Drew.
What's going on, everybody?
And, of course, our tried and true, our trusty co-host. Good brother Ty. How are you doing tonight? Good, sir.
I'm doing well, my brother. About to get into some nice little charts, talk about Tron a little bit, kind of trash them a little bit. And we're going to get into a really cool platform called yieldwars.com.
There's a big gem, guys, in today's episode. You definitely want to watch the whole thing. Again, not financial advice, but potential retirement situation. So, Ty, do you want to just kick it off with Big Daddy Corn, as always?
Absolutely. Let me go ahead and share my screen.
Can't go wrong with the corn. I mean, you could make so many things from corn. Really, everything comes from corn. What do you think about it?
You can farm it.
You can farm it.
You can farm it. Not this corn.
Not this corn. Sorry.
Right. I wish. That'd be nice. So let's do this. Let's go out on a monthly view here. I actually posted this to my Twitter. Let's get rid of a few indicators here. And you can see my screen, correct?
Yep, I got you full screen for maximum viewing power.
Great. So the big problem that we have right now is that, well, actually at the moment we're above 10,550, which was a pretty crucial level for us to remain above. So that's pretty solid. I don't know if it's going to last because we'll take a look at the closer time frame to see what that looks like. But I just want to draw this little line here to show you 10,550. And actually, like I said, I covered it on one of my tweets earlier this week or last week. And basically what we're seeing is we're seeing a lot of pressure, a lot of resistance at the tops of these wicks. Here, this is in 2019. This is kind of the top of the run up. This is 2017 here. You can see like there was literally only one candle that closed above. I think this is 10,700, somewhere around there. That was in 2017. Literally the next month, boom, dropped it. I think that's, what kind of drop is this? It's like 25%, somewhere around there. And so now, where we are today, and this is why the little question mark is here, is we're sitting above that level that was so hard to stay above for a very long time. And we will see. It remains to be seen if we're going to stay above this level. But that's why if we go to like a closer look, to take a look, see where we are right now. This level is 10,550, somewhere around that area. That's kind of like the level we get a hold. And yeah, so this is on the daily. So we're doing pretty well right now. But I want to take us to the 4 hour because there was a pretty decent, like this is like, it's not really a flash crash. It's not too bad. Like this is obviously worse. This is more like 5 to 6%. So it's not a huge flash crash, but what that did for me is it kind of broke a long forming trend on the, I think it was on the 4 hour or the hourly, which shows like weakness. It just shows that it's also trying to get back up to 11.1K and it ain't doing so great at it. And the more times it attempts to do that and it fails, it just means that the structure is getting weaker and weaker, and bears are eventually going to start piling on. And when they do, they could tank us below 10,550, which I think would ultimately break this structure, this pattern, and take us to 9.6K, which of course is our famous CME gap, which is right around this area, which would be a pretty gnarly drop. That's about 10%. Now that's 10% for Bitcoin. For altcoins, obviously that would crush them, be pretty bad. So we don't really know if this is going to happen for sure. I mean, Bitcoin could do something totally different, right? It could avoid all pre-market market crashes, or sorry, pre-election market crashes, and just do whatever it wants to do. It could totally do that, and it might. There's no guarantee, but most of the time, these pre-election market crashes do come, and it just so happens that we have a gap to fill at 9.6K that we've been trying to fill for some time, and it hasn't happened yet. So with all those things being said, I think we're going to dump. I don't know when, but I'm counting on it.
So we're basically at a critical kind of injuncture here, right? A decision point. Will you? A real typical Bitcoin moment. We've been pushing sideways for kind of quite a while now. It's either going to pump or it's going to dump. It's going to be one or two options. I doubt we just continue to push sideways with a month to the election. I just don't see sideways as a viable option there.
No, I don't see sideways. I do think it'll be interesting to see what happens with people's money. I think most people, I don't know, maybe the paradigm shifts, but I think most people are going to put it into cash. I don't know why. It's just what people do. I think mostly because people expect the crash and they are looking to have opportunities and want to be liquid so they can buy up these opportunities. So we'll see what happens. Maybe people go into Bitcoin. I don't know.
I think everyone's just kind of on the edge of their seat, man. Just getting cash ready and kind of taking stock of inventory and just getting ready for the incoming shit show, which is kicking off in about 52 minutes.
Yeah.
Funny enough, but excellent analysis on Bitcoin. Thank you, Ty. Appreciate that.
Thank you. Next thing we can do is we could talk about Tron early on if we want to.
Destroy the Tron, people. Please go ahead.
All right.
Yeah, I've got some stuff to add as well about just from being a part of the Hive community and going through the Steam fork. I really, and talking to people on the Hive team, I definitely got some really interesting interactions with Justin's son himself to talk about. So.
I'm sure that'll be great. Justin, if you're watching this, my apologies. And Brother Herb, if you're watching this, my apologies as well. R.I.P. to Tron. But let's get it. Rip them, Ty.
All right. Well, let's first take a look at the TA because to be honest, the TA is not even that bad on Tron. It is on BTT, BitTorrent, which we could talk about in a little bit. But yeah, I mean, it's actually forming a pretty decent trend. I mean, TA wise, it could be obviously due to the fact that Tron is such a big name, and I mean, it does have a working product, if you will, even if it has a lot of forked code, copied code, just a lot of copied, platform features and ideas from Ethereum. And I mean, so is BitTorrent, and we'll talk about that. But, from a TA standpoint, Tron is probably looking pretty decent. If I go back here to our lowest level, it's actually above the 382 right now. I'd like to see a close above the 382. We'll see if that happens. It kind of looks like it could recover and make a jump for the 50% retracement right here, which is right around our top back in August. So it could definitely start making moves above the 50%. If it does, that's a pretty solid movement from the TA perspective. So would I buy Tron personally as an investment? No. I've heard people tell me like that you can make money off trading it because, I mean, It is a strong pattern. You could probably guess most of this pattern, or just predict it. It's not like other crypto patterns where it's just kind of like up and down. There's really no predictive movements to it. This is more predictive, so I guess that's why it would be cool to trade. But as far as investment, nah, not going to touch it. Too many red flags. And I'd actually like to go into BitTorrent real quick because I want to show BitTorrent, because this is the one that should make people angry. Because this one, I mean, this was hyped up so bad in 2019 from exchanges. We won't say who, but it was hyped up and it really hurt a lot of people. It was one of the first IEOs on Binance. So it was supposed to be great. It was supposed to be, well, of course, the name is BTFS, very similar name to IPFS. You might also think that the logo looks very similar to IPFS, but that's neither here nor there. You know what? They even forked off of IPFS, but that's not anything to be concerned of. But right now, if I was looking at BTT as an investment, I would be staying far away, because you'll see this is not a healthy formation. This is normally you'd like to see like a kind of a retrace like this and move above the 786. That didn't happen. Tested it one more time. That didn't happen. So it could retest the lows, which means you're looking at almost zero. Not quite there, but you're getting close. And if that happens, I mean, people tell me that the BTFS platform actually works and all that kind of stuff, but as far as the token value, it was highly overvalued back in 2019, highly diluted as well. But anyways, that's kind of that. If you guys want to talk about some of the stuff regarding Tron, like any evidence maybe that it's just not, it's like got red flags or whatever, you can go first, and then I can kind of chime in.
I might have to put the camera fully on Drew for this one, guys.
The passion's coming out. Yeah, so just to talk about my interactions with Justin Sun, I've been using Steam and the associated platforms, 3Speak, DTube, etc., for the last couple of years. And being a part of the Steam community, as some people might know, the old CEO of Steam It Inc., which was basically the official organization that was running a lot of the Steam operations. Obviously, Steam's a blockchain, but that was the official company entity for to do official stuff, like running an advertising budget and stuff. Anyways, they were awful, and Ned ended up leaving and basically barely telling anybody that he was about to sell Steam It Inc. And including in that sale, he sold the founder's stake, which was a huge amount of Steam. And for people who don't know, Steam is a delegated proof of stake platform, which means that basically the new updates are voted on based off of how much Steam you have. You get equivalent voting power to how much Steam you have. So that original founder's stake was agreed on when they founded that. They said it would never be used to vote. And whether or not Ned told Justin Sun that before doing the sale to him or not doesn't really matter, because you should know when you buy a blockchain, you don't just get to control it, when you buy if you try and buy a decentralized organization, it's not going to go well for you.
That kind of defeats the purpose.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it just shows that it's a worthless blockchain. So luckily, the Steam community really came together and showed just how powerful of the community we do have. And basically, Justin came in, tried to use the stake to vote, or at least was threatening to. Some of the Steam developers went in and preemptively did a soft fork that locked out his funds from being used to vote as a preemptive measure. Didn't take them from him, didn't confiscate them in any way, just made sure that they couldn't vote. And in response, he coordinated a huge collusion between himself, Binance, Bittrex, and I think a couple other large exchanges. So some of the biggest entities in crypto itself. And the exchanges actually had a huge amount of steam on their platform. That's basically how they have that's how they hold the steam for their platform, is they hold it all on the actual platform, which makes sense. So they were able to power up all of their steam and then vote on it. So they attempted to do that, which would take over the entire ecosystem so they could implement whatever changes they wanted to the blockchain. And then their idea, the problem with powering up your steam is that you can't power it down and sell or transfer it for, I believe it was 13 weeks. So Justin's idea was, hey, this is what he told the exchanges is, hey, go ahead, power up your steam, and then we'll have the power to change the rules of the blockchain and let you power down in 4 days.
Oh my goodness, what is this?
Yeah, so it's an absolute scam. Luckily, we were able to throw a huge wrench in the operation, and we prevented him from getting 51%. So we were able to keep him from making the power down changes, which, obviously probably damaged his relationships with those exchanges, luckily. But in the end, not only did we stop his initial attack and punish the exchanges for trying to basically run a coup of our blockchain democracy, essentially, we were able to fend him off. So the biggest entities in crypto, Justin's son, himself a billionaire essentially, and then Binance and these other extremely large exchanges, the most powerful entities in crypto, all came at us, and we were able to eventually we just hard forked, which was even better for us because then we each got we all got airdrops equivalent to Steam in Hive, and we were able to shed a lot of the dead weight of the Steam platform, so we don't have a founder's stake that could be used against us. We basically took all the good developers, and there was a small part of the Steam community that stayed with Justin. It was mainly the Korean part of the Steam community, which apparently was getting heavily paid off. But yeah, so that's to retaliate though, and this is the final real straw that showed just what an absolute asshole Justin's son is. He decided to do, obviously, after we hard forked, everybody was selling their Steam, withdrawing their Steam, powering down their Steam and withdrawing it. So he waited a couple of weeks, and then he froze, or rather he did another soft fork, I think it was actually a hard fork, and he confiscated the accounts. I think it was around $6 million worth of Steam that he just confiscated by his own centralized, personal vendettas he had against people who had founded the Hive ecosystem. So just absolute highway robbery. The exchanges didn't do anything about it, and I believe there's still some legal action being pursued by some people, but it's, obviously it's going to be some dicey international law there. So I'm sure it'll take a while, but yeah, no, he's a complete asshole. He doesn't care about decentralization. He's vindictive. He's vengeful, and he goes against supposedly from people. Oh, you know what the best part about that fork was though?
What?
Someone on the inside, when he was trying to confiscate everybody's funds, somebody on the inside coded this in where all the funds that they were trying to take, the guy sent it all to, someone on the inside just sent it all to Bittrex. So technically, and I haven't checked on this recently, I haven't seen if Bittrex transferred the funds out or gave them back to the original owners or not yet. I believe their final position on that was that they're going to let the lawyers figure it out. But yeah, so they Justin didn't even fully get away with it. So somebody on the inside was able to foil the plan as well. So yeah, just funny, just seeing he's a total child. He got caught cheating in college. I forget which Ivy League school he went to, but he's just a complete cheat and a scam artist, and hasn't really built anything of value. He just tries to use his money to steal decent projects.
It sounds like what the article was saying. It sounds just like what the article says about like his employees and all that kind of stuff.
Are you showing that on your screen right now?
I am actually. And the most important quote that I actually got out of this entire article, I don't know if you guys read the article or if you can see my screen.
Yep, I got it up.
Yeah, the most important quote I got out of this was get the pump on the coin. Because that is now that is going to be like our MO, our motto, for the Trading Tuesdays. So anytime anytime we need to get the pump on the coin, we will definitely let you know. In fact, that's a perfect segue to the next topic that we want to cover, and then we'll kind of get back into some charts, which is yield wars. We want to get the pump on the coin because this is going to be pretty hot. It's So yieldwars.com, the token that they're representing is WAR. Basically, you can kind of pick different liquidity pools to win for each day. I think their battles are literally starting like as of 21 minutes ago, like literally as we were starting this live stream. So you guys can go check that out. I think I'm going to actually throw some chads in to get some WAR. There's like ridiculous APRs right now. There's like 1,000% for farm. There's like, I don't know, 199% for comp, all kinds of stuff. And you can earn WAR, obviously. And now we can kind of look at the TA. Holy crap. Since we started, it's gone up like, hold on. Is that like, hold on, wait, that can't be right. Somewhere around there. Yeah, like 13%, 10% since we started. Now I also want to note that if you can see like the little spottiness in this chart, basically what that is there's not enough volume to kind of close some of these gaps or like complete full trading candles. So basically it would close without a trade or a very small trade in some of these before really before the 28th of September. And now, so recently they've gotten much more volume. You can see here, obviously it's reflected, and now they're doing really well. They look super legit. I think it's a cool idea. I think it pits communities against each other, which is a really cool idea on its own. I mean, and then you're also like competing for like yield, and also, I think it's just a really cool idea. So definitely check it out. I've already just thrown some at WAR and chads because I'm going to throw some to chads, and I think that if I do that, then I'm basically betting on it to win. So that's cool. Speaking of chads, and actually I'll let you guys talk about WAR as well. I think you have some comments on that before I go further.
Yeah, Drew, if you want to touch on the supply a little bit.
Yeah, so there's a couple of things I like about WAR. First of all, the thing that you were talking about, as far as pitting communities against each other, I think when you look at, this is DeFi is, this is such a strange market. Obviously, it's never existed before. The combination of being able to hard code in financial aspects to an instrument like this in a decentralized, auditable way is really crazy and results in some very interesting situations, which we've been seeing with yield farming, which is changed the paradigm of the whole space. It's different than staking. It's and because of the both the open source nature of the code and the decentralized exchanges, you really get the opportunity to you always have the option of just taking somebody else's code and improving on it. And I think that's actually what they did here a little bit. And they added one layer. And what I really like about it is because they're actually adding, for the first time in a space where there are a lot of projects that are just Wi-Fi clones, for instance, or just simple meme coins, et cetera, et cetera. With WAR, you have a whole extra level being added on top of it, which is the ability to compete against other yield pools for dominance, and then take their part of their farmed yields. So it's interesting. It adds, there's a couple aspects I like about this that makes what I think makes a good DeFi coin. One, the just by the fact that you're pitting different communities against each other, you're going to ensure that the crypto community all over the internet are going to talk about it at the very least, because you're creating conflict, which is amazing. That's like a built-in advertising mechanism, which is, among other things, one of the more important aspects to this market for sure. Obviously, that increases the memeability. And then just the fact that it legitimately adds a new aspect to the yield farming craze, which has never been seen before. And in this case, you're adding on, these people are already, with yielding, with farming, you're already getting, quote unquote, free returns. So to add on a little extra risk, I think it's a really cool idea. And I think it adds actual, a new utility to the yield farming sector of crypto right now.
Yeah, I think it gamifies it, because you have all these different like now, farm tractors, link marines, comp nobles. I don't know. It's just kind of funny. It's kind of cool. It's definitely crypto. Simple UI. They're just getting started. In fact, so Andre, the creator of Wi-Fi, he was the whole Eminence Finance thing. I think was actually like a similar version of what this is. And so that didn't work out because a hacker found an exploit. You can call him a hacker. He found an exploit, I think, in the arbitrage of the token. It wasn't released yet. It wasn't ready. And so I think he ended up pulling $15 million out of the project and just draining it. So they're going to have to like restart the token because it's just like, it looks like a rug pull. In fact, if I can pull it up here, I'll show you. Because it's not
Hold
good.
it up. Yeah, and I mean, full disclosure, guys, this is not a paid advertisement by War. This is not financial advice, of course. But, we all forget getting trolled, putting you guys on the zap at 2 cents, and then it went to a quarter. So.
Oh, my goodness. Look at this.
Whee! Which one was it?
This is Eminence Finance. This is the one.
Hot dog?
No. No, this is Eminence Finance. So this is the one that it technically wasn't a rug pull, but it was where I don't know, some kind of exploit happened. The guy took all of the $15 million worth of tokens with him, and just crashed the price, and now it's dead. So it was supposed to, launch pretty soon, but obviously that's not happening anytime soon. And that's a perfect opportunity for Yield Wars to, kind of take over in this sector, because Andre was going to release his own version, but that didn't happen. So speaking of which, War is actually pumping literally as we speak. So I just
I like it
that.
because it's like fun. It's got that kind of good energy with like the meme stuff, but then there's actually a real world. There's an actual use case for this. You can actually do something with the tokens. It's not just a dead vaporware meme project. Right. We're not going to say certain names here. But
right. Yeah, so it's pretty cool. So the next one is Chad's. I don't really know about a whole lot about this one. I've heard about it, and it's one of the options in Yield Wars. Mm-hmm. So it's like the Chad's apes. I don't know. You probably could pick like Chad's chat. I don't know, or something like that.
Chad, bro. Chad.
Right.
Chill.
Right. So as far as the TA is concerned, if it can hold above, what is this, like 9 cents, 9.0946, right around that level, then I'd say it's a solid go. You can see there's resistance here, support here, and now this could indicate a support here. Now, if that happens, it's a pretty good opportunity, especially because I think one of the first battles on Yield Wars is Chad's. So there might even be more incentive now to kind of keep it afloat, at least for this whole battle, as it's called. Mm-hmm. So we might see a breakout here, and it would take us to the next level, which would be about 11 cents from here. I don't know. What are these candles? They're so weird. be about 18% if we could break out and go up from here. We'll see how it works out. If not, probably coming down below the 786 to around 6 cents. So we'll see what happens there.
Wow, interesting question here from Scott Spiegel. I wonder who that could be. Ty, do you think Bitcoin is going to move tonight during the debate? And is there any correlation to Joe Biden's brain aneurysms and stutters?
I don't know if there's a correlation to Joe Biden's aneurysms, because if there was, I think Bitcoin would have crashed by now. So I will say, I don't think it's going to do a whole lot of moving. I don't think it's that the debate's going to necessarily do anything. A lot of times these pre-market or pre-election market crashes are seemingly random. At times it's just like tomorrow we might wake up with a dead stocks day, and then of course then cryptocurrencies are going to fall as well, because that seems to be the trend lately. So I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of movement tonight. Maybe this is kind of a top right here, actually. If you look at this could be like a local top. You can see this is support here, crashes below, obviously, which this happened, literally yesterday. And this could be another top. Now, if that's the case, then we could obviously see like this is resistance. We're going to see a drop. And then obviously if we continue to come down to 10,550, break below that, it's not good. Probably looking at like 9.6K within the next 2 weeks. So we'll see what happens.
Whew. So much going on, man. Really?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I just want to fix up. So we can go through the last one here. So Serum, we can go through all these and then we can revisit any that we need to do. And if there's questions, we can answer those as well. I hope my Tron buddies came here and watched the stream.
Where are the Tron haters and the Ripple army?
Yeah. Okay, so this is an interesting chart because a lot of people are kind of hyping Serum right now, but I don't know if I would based on this chart. I think it could be a little overbought, or at least it was when it was at its hype, which is around 378, which is currently 176. That's a drop of about 52%, which is not great. So right now, according to the Fibonacci retracement levels, we're below the 786, which is 189. So you could maybe find some support. I don't know. It doesn't look like a solid, area of support anywhere necessarily. Nothing back here. It's just kind of like, I don't know. It's going to spread all over the place. So we could see support here. We'll see what happens at 175. If it tries to retest at 189 at the 786 Fibonacci retracement level, probably if it does break down, it I don't know, it could go down to 138. I mean, there's not a whole lot in between here. I mean, this could be considered support like 156, but I don't know. It's not a safe investment for me unless it gets above the 786. So, and by the way, this is Serum is FTX's official DEX. So it's got a lot of potential, but according to the TA, it's not something I would invest in until I see like at least a close above 190, 188, somewhere around there.
So you see that confirmed breakout.
Right. Yep.
Gotcha. Interesting, Todd.
Great.
Appreciate the expert analysis, as always. If you guys have any questions in the chat, if you guys want us to look at any coins in particular, we'll definitely be happy to do so. Just let us know on YouTube or Twitter. Eric, a good point about the CME gap here. If we could just, everyone's got their eyes on it. Just get it out of the way so we could just all breathe that kind of collective sigh of relief. That'd be great.
Mm-hmm.
That would be
yeah. Oh, so War is at 239 now. Yeah, I mean, it looks like it's pumping. In fact, while we're on this, I'm gonna see if I can start staking some tokens. I don't know why, but my wallet's not connecting, but we'll figure out that later.
I mean, it's what, the first 24, 48 hours of the token going live? Like,
it's the first 24 hours of the battles going live. I think the token itself has been live.
Yeah, the token has been around for a little bit, but yeah, the first time the actual wars themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you guys are brand new to Uniswap and new listings, in the first few days, there's going to be that initial pump, there's going to be that initial dump. But now that the staking, the farming, the actual wars are launching up, and people are actually going to start using this project, I think it's very important to watch.
Ask Scott. He's asking some questions. He says, "OV governance token now on mainnet, is that a buy? And is it Lend or OV?" So I think their governance token is Lend, but they also have like a new NFT thing. It's called Ghost. Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Actually, it's
did we cover that last time? The OV Ghost thing.
Yeah, we talked about it last time on the NFT special.
Yes.
So let me pull this up and I'll show you.
Last week, that seems like 20 years ago in crypto.
I know. Let's see what this looks like. Kind of looks like it's going to do a retrace regardless, or it's already done its retrace regardless of the Fibonacci retracement levels. Let's see how this looks here. Very elongated pattern, but it might turn into something. And we'll look at Lend as well in a second here. That could turn into something. That's interesting. There might be a good opportunity to get some with some what is it, Ghost Avgachi, especially because NFTs are kind of hot right now, and this is supposed to be like an NFT token, something like that. Look into it more. Not financial advice.
NFTs are hot. NFTs are hot. That's the I think that's the Twitter debate of the week, right? It's like,
oh my gosh, did you see this stuff about Peter McCormick?
Is it what did you say, Ty?
Have you seen what Peter McCormick's been going on about?
Good old boy Pete going at it again.
Yeah, back and forth with Franklin. He used to be former head of marketing at Beaksy. Now he's with Block Party. And I really enjoy like Franklin's tweets about NFTs because I think that people are really missing the whole point about NFTs right now. I think there's a lot of possibilities with it. And I think to be ignorant, and not even like try to look into like what those possibilities are is pretty like telling of who you are in the space and like how much you value like innovation and all that kind of stuff. I don't think it's really possible to be like bearish on NFTs, at least long term.
Yeah, man. They're missing the point completely. Like, yeah, I guess you could copy and take a screenshot and just troll and say all day long, I own the NFT too. But like, when it comes to actually verifying it on the blockchain, you're going to be shit out of luck because that's really it's all about the ownership.
I think the real use case for NFTs, and which is actually the most popular DApp on Hive. And it's actually, I think, one of the most used dApps out of all blockchains. I'm pretty sure Hive overtook EOS in August. I'm fairly certain in terms of daily users actually using dApps. And it was because of the game Splinterlands, which is
heard of it.
An NFT-based card game that runs on Hive. So you can buy packs of cards, essentially. So there's that gambling aspect, which was popular with like CSGO, like mystery boxes and stuff like that in the gaming world. And Hive is a unique blockchain that actually, the transactions are nearly instant and free, essentially. It costs very little for transfers. So it makes playing games on it much more useful compared to, say, Ethereum, where every transaction during times of, like, for instance, when the Uniswap claim was first came out, the airdrop, I remember every single transaction I had to do, I had to pay $30 in gas fees if I wanted it to go through within 3 hours. So that doesn't work extremely well for playing games and stuff like that. But that's another unique advantage of Hive, to plug them once again, just because I really like platforms that actually get used in dApps, and Hive is definitely the king of that. So yeah, that's where I think NFTs have a future. And I also really just like, ever since I was a kid, really liked trading card games. So being able, and the big thing in that community has always been the part of the fun of the game is the fact that the best cards are rare and are valuable. So therefore, to be competitive, you need more you need more money essentially. So there's that aspect to it, which makes it harder to be good. But when you play online, you can just digitally get all the cards, and there isn't that same fun aspect of collecting anymore, which is really, that's why it's a trading card game. And NFTs is the perfect application of that.
It's just fun, man. It's fun to collect these cool, like, unique little, like, trolley meme cards. Like, are you just anti-fun? Like, yeah, we can all just circle jerk Bitcoin maximalism till 2140 and the last Bitcoin is mine. But, like, damn, can we have a little fun along the way, guys? Like,
Yeah, I don't get the whole like hate on. I think it's just ignorance, really, is what it is. You can't call yourself like like an innovator or like or I don't know. I mean, why would you be a Bitcoin supporter if you're not like friendly towards innovation in any form? Like if it's new and it's like exciting and there's possibilities behind it, why would you stifle that? That doesn't make any sense. That's what Bitcoin is.
Exactly, man. We're pro innovation here. We're pro moving the ball.
By the way, so I think one of the questions was look at Mana, Decentraland. Will you throw me on?
Yes, real quick, mandatory Johnny Dollar shout out. Johnny Dollar has been on the NFT wave forever. He was telling me about it like 6-9 months ago. I was laughing at him back then and then woke up to it. It's okay if you laugh at it at first, but if you're able to then realize that there's potential, that's what separates the rest. But yes, to Scott's question, good question, Scott. How is Mana looking? Can you add your screen back, Brother Ty?
Yes, I think it's. Oh, there we go. Now it should be back.
I got you, buddy.
Sweet. Okay, so we're looking at the 4 hour here. It's actually doing pretty well. It looks like it's recovered from a long retrace. The high being 13 cents. This is back in August, actually. So it's gotten support at the 7 cent level. Looks like twice it recovered here and recovered here. And it's actually done a really good recovery because not only has it recovered at this support line at 786, which is usually where you want to buy. And I always say if anywhere between the 618 and the 786 is usually the time to buy from a full retrace. And it just turns out that it is because it's usually just for whatever reason, that's usually when it's oversold, if it has any value at all, and it's the best time to swoop it up. And so it actually pushed through the 618, which is great because that shows a lot of strength on the trend. And it actually is developing a trend. This is probably typical. This little candle here, it's probably going to retrace maybe to the 618 again to gather support. Either way, I'd probably say that it will garner support here. Because it had a strong trend pushing through. I don't see it pushing back down. And of course, this is a whole NFT wave as well. With Decentraland, basically you can buy virtual land, which is honestly pretty cool. So yeah, I think Mana is a good investment, especially now. If it confirms above the 618, then I would definitely be interested in throwing money at it. If in fact we don't crash before then. With Bitcoin, because it's always a thing. If Bitcoin crashes, everything's kind of thrown out the window.
Exactly, man. If the coin goes down, everything's going down with it. Again, though, mandatory Johnny Dollar shout out. Johnny's been on Mana for years. The dude's just innovative, bro.
Some people are early. Some people are early to like even early waves. Like we're early to this wave, but you got to take the next step and like really kind of be a visionary and see what kind of stuff's going to be popping. Axie Infinity, for example, they've been doing NFTs for a long time. I actually met with some of the guys from Axie Infinity back in 2019 in the Philippines at a small little event in Manila. And before that, I'd never heard of them. And then after that, they raised tons of money. And now Delphi Digital literally bought like $150,000 Axie, which is an NFT for the Axie Infinity game. The institutions are literally buying, NFTs now. That's huge. That's a lot of verification.
That's so crazy.
I know.
What further legitimization do you need other than institutions buying them? I don't know. To me, that's like the ultimate mark of like the transition from like neck beard basement dweller trolling to actual like
right
value. But
Okay, War is at 260 now.
I think NFTs are here to stay. War is here to stay. Anything in closing, guys? Any last minute Hail Marys from the audience? Ty, Drew?
I mean, do we have any last minute questions or anything?
Just getting ready for the shit show in 15 minutes of the presidential debate. Can't wait to bust the popcorn out for that one.
But you guys are gonna have fun with that.
Oh yeah. I have quite a few drinking games with that one.
Yeah. In fact, there's pretty much like the drinking game that I've seen. You can't avoid it. You're just gonna get messed up.
You're gonna black it out. Yeah, take a shot every time Joe stutters. Okay, have fun.
Yeah.
We'll get the ER and the stretcher ready for you. But awesome. Thank you guys so much. Hope you guys picked up some gems there. Ty, Drew, thank you guys. Thank you to all our audience members, Eric and Scott. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. Be safe, guys. Again, not financial advice. Do your own research, but have fun out there. You know, don't forget to have a little fun every now and then. It doesn't hurt. Thanks, Erica, for the last second comment.